Welcome along to our NWSL previews here on CBS Sports HQ, presented by Zelle. Zelle is a great way to send money to friends and family wherever they bank in the US. Look for it in your banking app today. So the NWSL regular season is in the books, which means the postseason has arrived. Let's take a look at what we've got coming up. It is time for the playoffs in the NWSL, and the champion will be crowned in its traditional format for the first time in 2 seasons. The action kicks off on Sunday with the number 4 seed Chicago Red Stars hosting the number 5 seed New Jersey-New York Gotham FC. The Red Stars, who are looking for their first ever NWSL title, finished their regular season on a high note.
One with the shot, a stunner of a goal!
For Gotham FC, Aly Wagner led the club to its first playoff berth since 2013.
Into the box, the cross for goal!
In the late afternoon slot, the number 3 seed Washington Spirit take the field at home against the number 6 seed North Carolina Courage, who have won the last 2 NWSL championships in 2018 and 2019. The Spirit have relied heavily on their youth all year, led by Golden Boot winner Ashley Hatch and rookie Trinity Rodman, who are poised to make their presence felt in the playoffs.
Ball for Rodman. She's in the box. Rodman shot! And that might be the end of Houston's playoff hopes right there.
Although it was the Spirit's victory that secured the Courage's spot in the postseason, this is still a team with championship pedigree.
Rodriguez saved by Lund. Rebound stabbed home. It's Lynn Williams to open the scoring for North Carolina.
So who will advance and take on the NWSL Shield winning Portland Thorns and the number 2 seed OL Reign in the semi-finals? Tune in to CBS Sports Network and Paramount Plus to find out. So here's another look at the bracket heading into the quarterfinals. The first round kicking off November 7th as the Chicago Red Stars welcome Gotham FC to Toyota Park. The winner of that match will advance to take on the Portland Thorns in the semi-final. Then on the other side of the bracket, the North Carolina Courage, they're on the road to take on the Washington Spirit at Audi Field. A date with the OL Reign awaits on the horizon for the winner of that match. And for more on the playoffs, our 2-time Olympic gold medalist Aly Wagner joins us now. Aly, it's always good to see you. So the path to the silverware is set. So let's talk about the Red Stars, who will host Gotham FC. Gotham definitely didn't make it easy for themselves, did they, to get to this point? But no doubt Carly Lloyd will be looking to lead them all the way in her final professional seasons. But the Red Stars really came into their own at the end of the regular season. So who do you give the edge to here, Aly?
Yeah, no, you're right on, Poppy. I mean, they're both really good stories, right? You look at the Chicago Red Stars team, and the way that they started off the season, it was a slow and very slow burn. I think a lot of us even gave up on them in terms of that they would be able to make playoffs, let alone compete come playoff time. And it's a very different story now. This squad is really hitting their stride. In particular, Kalia Watt has been fantastic in the this latter part of the season. She's had production and goals in the last 5 straight. And I spoke with her yesterday. The partnership that is evolving between her and Mallory Pugh is really coming to light. And we're seeing that from the outside. Internally, they feel it. And this is a squad that is closer than ever. So when you talk about who has an edge, you know that teams that make deep run in playoffs are teams that have really good chemistry. And I got a very strong sense of that from Kalia yesterday when I spoke with her. And this squad in particular has advantages over Gotham FC. When you look at the positioning of Mallory Pugh going up against Didasco, as much as Pugh will float about the field and pick up to her spaces where she wants to live, that is going to be a matchup that Chicago is going to want to take advantage of. Chicago ultimately wants Gotham to build down the opposite side so Pugh doesn't have to do a lot of that defensive work. And then in transition, that is a space that I think this Chicago Red Stars team will look to take advantage of when they do rotate those outside backs higher up on the pitch. And I would argue that they're going to want to rotate her into more central areas as well. I think she has an advantage over Allie Long, McCall Jaboni, the 2 6s for this Gotham FC team that have a ton of experience there but don't have the pace and athleticism that Pugh has. And if they can put them in foul trouble early, get yellow cards on those 2 players, that will really make a difference, I think, for the Chicago team as they try to go the distance in the 90 minutes. Having said that, you know, Chicago has been so good at home. Last 8, they've had 7 wins. But Gotham is one of the teams that have come into Toyota Park and picked up a result. In fact, Chicago has not beaten Gotham this year yet. You look at the score lines, they've been cagey matches, 2-0 draws and 1-2-1 victory for Gotham FC in Toyota Park. So I think, yes, many people will go, this is going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think that's the case. Both these teams have started to find their form late in the season, as you said, Poppy, and they're both feeling it offensively. Carly Lloyd does not want to go out in this first round of the playoffs. Her partnered along Midge Purse, Ifeoma, that has been a really dynamic threesome. Carly Lloyd provides the overload in those advanced areas and allowing those two players in Purse and Ifeoma to go 1v1 against the center backs potentially of Chicago. So that is where I think Gotham is going to look to take advantage of Chicago. Ultimately, I do say Chicago at home. Some of these young players, I think they're going to be enough to get them over the edge.
So slightly favouring Chicago at home there, but you mentioned Carly Lloyd, and no doubt she will be dreaming of that storybook ending to put a bow on what's been an incredible career. Here is more from the football icon on moments that matter.
Time is finite. Enjoy every moment. Felt like I was going to lose the club on that, though. Trust the process. Become better every day. And do everything with passion. I'm Carly Lloyd, and these are the moments that matter. For me, it was my first love. That ball was my passion. It was everything. As a young little girl, I can remember just gathering up as many balls as I can. And I would just take shot after shot after shot. If I'm not good at something at that very first moment or that first try, I continue to try to do it until I become good at it. I've just always been wired that way.
Yeah. I'm undefeated.
I am probably one of the most competitive people out there.
I'm undefeated. I can't be beaten. I got the secret. I got the power. I am the reason.
There it is. Good one. Perfect. Best one of the day.
2 in a row.
My husband probably thinks that he's the most competitive, but the two of us together in a room, we compete on just about everything.
Got me beat in this category on the golf course. Soccer, different story.
So I met my husband, Brian, in high school, actually. So we are high school sweethearts. We've been together for many, many years. Brian actually introduced me to golf.
Thank you.
Great job.
As I've gotten older, I've kind of enjoyed it a lot more. I think that it's something that I can definitely do post-soccer and, you know, just enjoy it.
Nice. Good
There
one.
we go.
Beautiful. That was perfect.
Look at that.
It's super important to kind of find some things away from the daily grind of life. Kind of get away from the soccer scene. Playing soccer requires a great deal of physical exertion, but also a huge amount of mental exertion as well.
Bang.
Boom.
Shot. Good pot.
Fist bump.
And in order to be at your best, you have to be focused. But in order to sustain that for so many years, you have to sort of give yourself some time off.
Hey, Rosie, good to see you again.
Hey, Carly, how are you?
Good. Ready for some relaxation?
Yes, how about you?
I would always save my moments to be able to get pedicures and manicures.
So take both feet out for me. You want to do rounded or square this time?
They're pretty short, but you could just, whatever is
Right, just a
easiest.
little cleanup?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you can
It's just a way to relax, to get my mind off of focusing on training, and I absolutely love it. And to be honest, it's helpful for my feet. Our feet are, you know, scrunched in our soccer boots. kind of pride myself in having my feet and my hands look as best as they can be, and it just gives me some time to get away and just kick back, relax, and enjoy the moment.
All right, Rosie, thanks for today. That was great.
Awesome. It was good seeing you.
You too. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yes,
Sure.
will do.
I'm Carly Lloyd, and these are the moments that matter.
Well, she's a two-time World Cup champion, a two-time Olympic gold medalist, and a two-time FIFA Women's Player of the Year. She's just done it all, hasn't she, Aly? But there's still an opportunity for more to be written in this final chapter with a piece of silverware she's yet to win.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. But can we just talk about the fact that I don't know if I ever want Carly Lloyd's feet that close up? That was brave. I mean, we talk about her being brave on the pitch. That was brave. Yeah. When you look at Carly, you said it, she has not achieved this yet. And what you've noticed out of Carly, and I think in this last part of her career, is that she's at peace, she's relaxed, and she's having fun. I played with this woman for many years, and those were never adjectives that I would have used to describe her. Everything was intense. She was competitive, focused, and one of the most, I would say, driven athletes that I've had the pleasure to play alongside. And I would say that maybe perhaps this part of her career is going to start to take a different turn in terms of the club soccer, because her teammates seem to be rallying around her. You're seeing joy from them to celebrate her success. And I don't know that that was always something Carly was able to experience on the national team. That is such a cutthroat environment. And I just think you're seeing out of this Gotham FC team be elevated not only by her presence, but her also start to feel a little bit lighter and play on a different level for this Gotham team, because she knows that they've got her back as well. So I think, it's all possible. I said Chicago has the edge going to this match, but when Carly Lloyd's on the pitch, this is a woman that is made for big moments. That is what her career has been about. And there isn't one for her now in the future get any bigger than getting this team into the next round and ultimately winning her first ever club championship. So you cannot count them out.
Yes, so well said, Aly, and it's so good, isn't it, to see her really enjoying and embracing this moment. Let's look at the other side of the bracket, though, because the Washington Spirit will host the North Carolina Courage, and the Courage, they crept into the playoffs, didn't they, thanks to other results going their way. But Washington, on the other hand, in superb form, winners of 4 of their last 5, 4 of which were clean sheets as well. But we know Courage, they've got so much experience at the business end of the season. So how do you see this one unfolding?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Poppy. This Courage team has a little bit of an X factor in terms of second life. No one thought they were going to make the playoffs. I certainly didn't. That goal right there sent them through. It eliminated Houston. And I just think this Courage team has so much experience and so much dynamic ability in that attacking third that they are still going to be a threat. That is said, keeping in mind that they're yet to score against this Washington Spirit team this season. The only goal that North Carolina has on the books against Spirit was actually an own goal by Rodar. So I think North Carolina doesn't have maybe the confidence individually coming into this match. And that is a big deal when you're in playoff time. Yes, you can put the history behind you, but as individuals, you want to be feeling it and you want to be in good form going into these playoff matches. North Carolina, their results aren't good. We know they've only won 1 in their last 9. That is atypical for this squad. They're actually winless in their last 4. And these players are creating chances. They're just not putting them away. So that is going to be the difference for this North Carolina team if they get into that next round. It's that they actually take their chances. And that's what Washington is going to have to pay heed to, because this is a Washington team, as you said, in incredible form. You take out the forfeits, they're 9 games unbeaten, and they've got this young, exuberant group that doesn't have the experience. Even if you look at a Kelly O'Hara, a very wise vet, U.S. national team player, she's actually never been in a playoff game for her club team. So this is going to be new experience for a lot of these players, and they are going up against one of the most experienced squads in the league. Having said that, I think Washington Spirit has the individual confidence coming in. Rodman has been fantastic. You talked about her in the Open. 6 goals, 6 assists, tied for most goal contributions across the league with Ifeoma Onumonu. And that is a statement from a rookie player that has come in and then looked the part every single game. She's going to be a big piece to how this team plays. Obviously, Ashley Hatch, Golden Boot winner. She's finished the season with 10 goals. She's been in great form. And in fact, both those players have scored against North Carolina. Hatch had a brace, Rodman had 1 goal. So you look at these players and say they are going to come in with their chest out a bit, and they're going to know that they've had good success against this North Carolina team. And one thing that Washington has done well against this side is limit those chances that Lynn Williams gets, that Dabinia gets. And they've done that by rotating Kelly O'Hara over to the left side. Kelly O'Hara now gets more in advanced positions from that outside back position, but they've had Paige Nielsen as their right back, and she's the one that's going to be more conservative, stay at home, and deal with the movement of Dabinia, who likes to fade out to her left side, and that'll be up against Paige Nielsen, And then when you look at what Washington wants to do in terms of goal production, a lot of this play, Washington wants to have the possession in midfield. North Carolina, more direct in their style. They're trying to turn the back line of Washington. Washington, on their other hand, has been so good when they've picked off possession and they've been in their transition moments to attack. That's how they created a bunch of their goals, specifically against North Carolina. It's how they earned one of their corner kicks and found the back of the net on that one. So I think when you look at this Washington Spirit team, confidence of these younger players, they're going to go with probably a more balanced midfield, more defensive midfielders, and utilize Ashley Sanchez as maybe their 9. And she's going to be the one that's going to withdraw, and you're going to get those dynamic runs coming out to in that are going to line up against the 2 center backs that more than likely will be left isolated because North Carolina doesn't know how to play any other way. They rotate their outside backs and they leave themselves exposed.
Yeah, Ali, you know, so many good points then. The way the bracket has fallen, it couldn't have fallen any better for 2 fantastic matches. A lot to keep our eye on and a lot at stake. Thanks so much. Brilliant insight as always.
Thanks, Poppy.
So let's take another look at Sunday's schedule then. Gotham FC, they're on the road to face the Red Stars at 3 p.m. Eastern to kick off the action. The winner of that match will advance to the semi-final where the Portland Thorns await. And then at 5:30 Eastern, the Spirit will host the Courage at Audi Field, and the OL Reign will be eagerly watching on to see who they will face in the semi-final as the quest for the NWSL title continues.